Yay Networks.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Bridget Mogensen. And if you hear a little pup snoring, that is still our foster pup, Sunny. His name's Sunflower, but he's going by Sunny these days. Very much Queen of Wands energy. And anyway, if you hear a little snore, that's him. But let's get into it. So I want to talk about, I keep looking over there to see if he's going to come on camera. He's so cute if you guys are watching on YouTube. But I am going to talk about my LA trip. I want to give you guys a little bit of a recap because, of course, while I was in LA, I did some spirit things, some aura photography, got some candles, some crystals. So I want to share that with you guys because these are all things that we can all be doing during Pisces season. We've talked about this a little bit, but just to go over it real quick, Pisces season is associated with its traditional ruler, Jupiter, which is abundance and expansiveness, and its modern ruler, Neptune, which is illusions, depth, creativity, dreams. So this season is a very dreamy time. It's a time when, the veil is thin, much like Scorpio season. And we're really tasked with healing, going into the subconscious, letting go of anything that we don't want to bring with us into Aries season when we start a whole new astrological cycle, right? So this can be a time where things feel a little bit slow. I've felt that way, even though things seem to be moving quickly. They also seem to be moving slow at the same time. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I would love for you to leave a comment if you are feeling this way too, or maybe it's sped up for you. Maybe Pisces is your sign or your rising sign, and you feel like it's going fast. It's different for everybody. It's all such like an individual thing. But on this journey, there are tools and ways that we can tap into our mystical, magical side, and that will help us with this transition. You guys may have noticed that a lot of the news has been like celebrity news, pop culture news, what we talk about here, has been a little bit more like negative, a lot of like exposing people. And it just seems like it's kind of one thing after another. And there was an interesting Camila Cabello interview that just came out on Call Her Daddy like the other day. And she is a Pisces North node, or no, I'm sorry, a Pisces South node. And is she also a Pisces Sun? Hold on. That's worth doing a fact check on. Oh my gosh, she was born on March 3rd. So yeah, she's a Pisces Sun. We do have her correct birth time. This is on Astro Charts, is what I'm referencing. So she has a Pisces Sun, Venus in Pisces, and Mercury in Pisces. Holy smokes, she is Pisces heavy. And her north node is in Virgo. So she has a south node in Pisces. So she has a lot of Pisces energy. This does not surprise me at all, looking at her birth chart, that she decided to do this Call Her Daddy Tell All, where she not only talked about the rumors of her going on that romantic vacation getaway with Champagne Poppy, AKA Drake, but she also talked about getting back together with Shawn Mendes. She really was like honest and cleared the air. I was listening to the other day, and I really couldn't believe like how open and honest she was, because I feel like she hasn't really done like a tell all like that. She's been pretty private. So this is definitely a great example of like what happens when the sun is shining on different parts of your chart. And with, Pisces sun, Venus, and Mercury. Wow. So while the sun is in Pisces, she really is, you know, being illuminated as far as like her Venus, the way that she loves, her love life, Mercury, the way that she thinks about love, especially, and her sun, the way that she is shining and learning to develop like into her Pisces best self, because we're all really developing into our, best version of our ego self, which is our sun. That individuality is really probably a better way to say it. And then with the South Node there, wow, a lot of lessons. She's here to learn a lot of life lessons that have to do with love and the way she thinks about things and communication. Very interesting. I think this is a very big breakthrough time for her then. Wow. What an impactful birthday season. Okay. And the ruler of her, let's see, which house is ruled by Pisces? Pisces is her 11th house, which is like groups and like social media, being social, the public. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So she has her Sun, Mercury, and Venus all there in the 11th house. That is a fame placement as well. So she's meant to work out all of these things in and with the collective. So I think that this is a really big breakthrough moment for her, that she is sharing for the first time, really like what happened, the way that she feels. Wow, I just got goosebumps. Okay, very interesting. I will go into a tarot reading to like catch up with her and talk about Sean a little bit more, to add some more shading to what we found out, just with like the whole twin flame thing that we've talked about before on this channel with them. I'll do a tarot reading to like update tomorrow during the live stream. For now, we're just going to leave it at that with a little bit of a nod to her birth chart. Also, the way that she talks, you could really tell that she is one of those people who is pretty fluid and like laid back with the way that she speaks. She was very much like, I don't know, just like, this is what I do, no boundaries, very much. Oh, she even talked about how she like doesn't put limits on herself when she was asked about by Alex Cooper. She was asked about like, do you believe in like, breakup sex? Like, do you believe in getting back together with an ex? Like all these questions. And Camila was very much very fluid, very Piscean. She was like, I don't like to put rules on myself. I don't like to put boundaries on myself. Like, if I say no, I'm going to want to do it. Very Pisces. So I thought that was such an interesting interview. And she really does embody the energy of this season. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about my LA recap, my LA experience, because there are some gems in here. We're also going to talk about some numerology and planning. When I was in LA last week, I had the best time. It was just great. Honestly, I got to see my little brother who is visiting from South Korea, where he's been living. He lives in Seoul, South Korea, and he was in town making music with some really big record labels. Hopefully, he gets signed by one of those big labels soon and then moves back to the States. So I will be in LA a lot more if that happens, or not if. When that happens, I'm sorry. I fully believe that he's going to be signed very soon. So it was great seeing him. He's my best friend. We had so much fun. And then I went to our first stop when we arrived was at this place called Origami, AURAGAMIA.LA. You can look it up on Instagram if you want, and they do like Zoom sessions as well. So it's definitely worth checking out. I highly recommend it. If you guys are watching on the video and not just listening to the audio version, I'm going to show you guys the way that this origami aura photography looks. It was so cool. So poor Michael, I made like a reservation online a few days before we left for LA, and it was really full. Like there were not a lot of reservations left. There were only like these two slots, and then there wouldn't be anything else until after we left LA. So I just like snagged the spots, and we had to go straight from the airport to the aura reading place, but it was so worth it. So here is what it looks like. And if you guys are just listening on audio, basically you get this like cool little booklet that has like, the branding. It's so cute. It looks like a little rainbow. It's all shimmery. And on one side, you have the color interpretations. And then on the other side, there's actually your aura photograph. So I'm going to show you guys so that when I explain what things mean, it's just really good to know. Okay. So the way that this works is you go into like this room. It looks kind of like a little honeycomb tent. And you sit there and you put your hands on these like panels, and there's like a little bit of metal on there. I don't really know the science of it, but basically there's like, I think you're like a conductor or something. Energy goes through you and you get a photo. And everyone's photo looks different. And there are a lot of different photos on the wall. So you can see like how other people's aura photos look. And it's just really cool. So you wait for everything to develop. It's like very suspenseful. And then you get your photograph and you get a reading. Basically, the woman who takes the photos there, she gives you this like really amazing reading and she explains what everything means. So I did one and I had Michael do one. He is the skeptic in the family, but I am forever breaking him down because he is a Pisces North node and this is what he's here to learn. So I think it's all for a reason. We were put together for for a purpose. And with this being Pisces season, no coincidence that he happened to be there. Okay. And his aura, let me show you guys his. This is a lot of blue and a lot of violet. I was expecting like more red or something, but honestly, It makes so much sense. Okay. If you look at the photograph, it matters like where, not only what colors show up, but it matters where on the picture the colors show up. And as you can see from mine, there's like some pink, there is some like yellow and blue and green. And it's definitely like on two different sides. And there are also like these orbs, this like arc of orbs right above my head. And that means something too. So, on your right side of your body, when you're looking at the photo, obviously it's like the left side, but your physical right side, the colors that show up there, they're all about like your expressive, active, also known as like your masculine side. This is like what you project outward. It's your persona. This also can talk about like the recent past. So for mine, really interesting. There was like a lot of green, which is patience, firmness, perseverance, assertiveness, nurturing, attentive, responsible, dedication, and gentle. And then right above that, it goes into blue, which is devotion, trusting, empathic, loyal, expansive, sensitive, intuitive, peaceful, and calm. That feels accurate. And then there's also some violet, like right above that. And that's magical. Okay. What we're doing here, also, no coincidence that my podcast cover art is purple and blue. Magical, original, playful, eccentric, charming, liberal, sensible, charismatic, and delightful. Okay. That's sweet. And so that's like what I've been actively doing in the world, what I've been putting out there. And I think that's true. I've been really trying to be more assertive. I've been communicating about like being playful and magical and obviously trying to be charming. Um talking about pop culture and having fun. So I think that that is so interesting. And then like being more like loyal and empathic and expansive, intuitive, the blue over there. I mean, wow. Yes. So I've been doing tarot readings, I've been doing astrology readings. Like that makes so much sense. So, okay. So that is what your right side corresponds with. It's your more masculine energy that you like put out there. And then your left side of your body, which on your photograph, it'll be your right side when you're looking at the page. This is all about your feminine receptive feeling side. So this is the part of you that like receives, feels, accepts things, imagines. The colors here are really important because this is talking about like what exactly you've been like taking in or receiving, what you've been feeling. So for me, at the very top, I have magenta, or I'm sorry, I have pink, and then I have white. It goes like from pink to white to yellow. So the pink at the top is love, sincerity, friendship, compassion, giving, romantic, generous, healthy, and faithful. Now, the reader said that because I have these three together, it's like almost like they're all like connected. You can see it's like a ray of light because it goes from pink to white to yellow. She said that that's like a spiritual thing where it's basically talking about like me working on like self-love, like it's very internal because this is like what we're receiving and like the inner work we're doing versus the other side is like the masculine stuff that we're doing like in the world. This is like internally like the work that's going on. And so there was like, okay, so this pink and then to yellow. Yellow is joyful, bright, cheerful, voluminous, enthusiastic, optimist, intellectual, open-minded, and fun. So she described it basically that like I've been working on a self-love cycle, and that makes so much sense. I've definitely been exploring what it means to be happy at this point in my life, what it is that I have been trying to change. I've been letting go of a lot of like outmoded ways of like being motivated in the world and really like accepting more love and like joy and focusing more on like what makes me happy, focusing more on just like being creative and enjoying my life and not worrying as much about like the outcomes. So that totally makes sense. 1000%. The self love cycle. I really love that because being able to see it on the page, it really like confirmed that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I feel like that's what this aura photography can really do. Now, the aura photography, I think you have to do that part in person, but the Zoom readings that they offer, like they do like soul readings, past life stuff. They can like do all kinds of other stuff via Zoom. And I really like their method. So I would go for it. I mean, I would do it. If you like are wanting to do it during Pisces season, this would be the time. I would go for it. So like it was really cool. I might actually do some other readings. I'm going to contact them too and see if the woman that did the reading for me would come on our podcast and just explain some more things, talk about some more of this aura stuff because it's just so fascinating. And then if you look to the center of the aura photo, you can see all these like orbs right above my head. I was like, whoa, when I saw this, what is this? This is what you're experiencing at the present moment. That's like what's right above your head. And for me, it's like a mix of like pinkish, purplish, blue, and then white orbs. And this is the hopes, the goals, aspirations. And when you have them in the shape of the orbs, that she said that's like your manifestations. So it's showing that like there are things that you're working on and manifesting right now. And the fact that they were like blue and purple, she said that that means that I'm manifesting from a place of humanitarianism and like doing spiritual work and wanting to manifest positive spiritual and philanthropic outcomes. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, we're doing like the animal rescue with this stuff. Like, I want to help people who get readings and like give them love and a boost. Totally. And like with my TV show, like trying to create interviews and create episodes that actually like help people, like mind, body, spirit, find the experts to help us like learn and grow and just live our journey a little bit better, more informed. All of that made so much sense. And then she said, like, the things you're manifesting for you and then things you're manifesting for others, like, those are two things she said, I'm manifesting for both. So I was like, okay, very cool. That makes sense. Manifest it all. I'm very into manifesting. And you guys know we've been writing down our new moon wishes. So I wonder if like those are some new moon wishes showing up. But I thought that was really fantastic. And then I also have my throat chakra and heart chakra activated. If you guys can see, like right in the middle there of the photo, like it goes from throat to heart. That means that I am communicating a lot right now and that I'm motivated to communicate and that my heart center is open. And I think that's so true. So this was really cool. I really loved it. With Michael, his reading is basically all like purple and blue, all violet and blue. And he also has his throat chakra and heart chakra lit up. And I really love that because I feel like, and then he has a couple orbs above too. And I really feel like this is just such a cool reflection of how like you attract and you create energy with like the people that you're around because it's really not that surprising that we have basically the same colors. I'm just working on some more self-love stuff because I'm in a different stage of my life. What she said about him that was really interesting is that she said that he has like a childlike energy with the violet, that he's tapping into like his inner child, and that he has two manifestations above his head on the side that corresponds with manifesting for yourself. Because she said that he's in a phase now where he really just wants to enjoy his life and enjoy like the fruits of his labor, like all the things that he's worked for since, he was a little kid, like everything that he's created in his life. He is in a cycle where he really wants to feel joy and happiness. And I don't know how much I've told you guys about his story, but he had a really, tough childhood. And so he's definitely worked really hard. And he always is talking about joy and how we have to take time to take vacations and do different things. That's a big deal around our house. And so when she said that, I looked at him and I was like, okay, do we believe now? And it did get in. It did get in a little bit. He's still skeptical, but it definitely like made an impression. He paused a second and was like, huh, okay, how'd she know that? Also, he has like the blue, which is devoted, trusting, empathic, loyal, sensitive, intuitive, peaceful, and calm. And she said that because his throat chakra is highlighted with blue, that is someone who speaks truth and will tell you the truth even when it's difficult to hear. And with his job as a lawyer, that made so much sense. So we were like, okay. Oh, and the other thing she said was that because of my aura colors and his aura colors, that we are old souls. She said that for me, because I have like the green and blue combo, that I'm also like in a no BS energy where like I can see right through like, anything that anyone's like trying to, if someone's basically, I can feel people's energy and read their energy, even if they don't tell me. And I know that like I read tarot cards and do that, but I also definitely feel that like in my day-to-day life, like I can always feel when something's off and it'll end up, the situation will unfold and it'll basically confirm my first impression. So that was cool too to get that confirmation that. Yeah, my intuition is definitely spot on. Not just when I read the tarot cards, but like in day to day life because of my, I guess, old soul experience. So I was like, well, that was cool. So, in a nutshell, it was amazing. I also bought a keychain that I was looking for, but I think it's in the bedroom right now. And Michael and the dogs are asleep in there. So I am not about to go in there and disrupt the harmony of the house. So, I'll show you that later. But it was so cool. It has 888 on it. This is an eight personal year for me in numerology. And eight is all about abundance and, starting to really accept and bring in the fruits of your labor. All the work that you started in a 1 year starts to come to fruition, in that 8, 9 year. So, in the 8 year and the 9 year. So I was like, I really want to just call in the abundance. So I got that. And then my hotel room was 812 on the eighth floor, and 8 + 1 + 2, as you guys know, lucky number 11 is my number. So I felt like it was really aligned and it ended up being an amazing trip. I always judge the quality of my trip based on the numerology of the basically the vibration of the hotel room. Like I literally will not stay in a 4 hotel room. I will not stay in a 7 energy hotel room if I can help it. I'm looking for a 6, I'm looking for a 3, I'm looking for a 9 or an 11, okay? Or an 8. That's fine too. But yeah. Or I guess a 1 if I'm by myself. Basically, the one I don't want is 4 the ones I don't want are 4 or 7 because those are associated with different energies that are just not vacation vibes. You know what I mean? Okay. So, that's the aura stuff, which was really fun. And then, let's see, what else do we have on the little list here? Oh, we did some more really cool things. Then we went to, this is a different day, House of Intuition. And if you guys haven't been to the House of Intuition, next time you go to LA, you have to go. It is amazing. It is my favorite spot for like, they have crystals, books, tarot cards, candles. You can also look online, the House of Intuition. I believe it's houseintuitionla.com. But I got this positivity candle and I want to light it right now on the podcast for the first time. I already set my intention and it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it's like citrus. It smells, honestly, if you're wanting to like get more positivity in your life, I highly recommend. I wonder if they do ambassadors so I could like get a discount code for us. We'll let you know. But let's light this candle and I'll explain what this is. Okay, I love it. So, as I shared with you guys last week on, I believe it was on the live stream, I was feeling a little bit stressed out. And I've been kind of like going through it a little bit, which I'm not afraid to tell you guys that because I think that the more honest that we are, my throat chakra and heart chakra, as you guys saw, are open, the better, right? I think it's just good to share, like when you're feeling that way. It makes you feel better, makes other people not feel it's alone, hopefully. So, yeah, was going through like some stress and then I realized I have a lot to be grateful for. I am doing a lot of good, even though I feel saddened and frustrated. As you guys know, like I said, it was the animal rescue stuff that was kind of getting me down and just feeling a lot of like sorrow about that kind of stuff. And, I just realized like I got to just keep manifesting, making those little orbs come into real life manifestations and make a difference through being positive and being sad and feeling like my energy is down isn't going to do that. So, I went to House of Intuition because I knew that there was going to be something there to help me. And of course, there was. The people that work there, and one of the owners was actually there as well. They're just so knowledgeable. They've been around for such a long time. They also offer like in person tarot readings, and it was really cool. I just love being there. It's over on Melrose Avenue. And I got this positivity candle because this is what it says on the back: absorbs and dispels negative energies by bringing forth positive thoughts and manifestations so that you can live a more happy, optimistic, and peaceful life. Okay, that's what we're about. And I was just thinking about that today as well. Like, okay, I just have to keep my thoughts positive, right? You can focus on either the positive sides or the negative sides. And it's okay to be sad sometimes, but staying in a positive vibration is what really helps us to move forward, right? And like there's too much to do and too much to enjoy in life to feel negative. So I got this candle to shift my energy to help me get back into like my happy, joyful mode, which also Now that I think about it, the yellow, God, the yellow that I've been working on inside, it is on my aura thing. So anyway, it's aligned. But here is what you do with this candle. On the back, basically, it's like this is to help you manifest and set an intention and like really like put it out there into the universe. So it says create a sacred space with a prayer to your guides or deity, blowing sage to the four directions or burning incense. Set your intention for the outcome you desire, visualize it through meditation, and then light the candle. I already did this stuff earlier. So, but just lit it together. Leave the candle burning until it goes out on its own for 3 to 5 days, in parentheses. Place candle in a bowl of water for safety. So, what I'm doing here is burning it, but I'm not going to leave it burning for 3 to 5 days continuously. And I did talk to the owner about it. I asked her, like, well, do I have to leave it burning for 3 to 5 days continuously? Because I just like, I don't know. I don't like to do that. Makes me feel stressed out. And she said you can snuff it out with like one of those like professional, I don't know, snuffers, candle snuffers, or you can set like a glass, or like porcelain, like not anything, not plastic, obviously, glass plate on top of it to like snuff it out. But she said basically you don't want to blow it out because if you blow it out, that can like blow away the intention, which, I love that. We're going to go with it. So this is my positivity candle that we now have burning. Thank you guys for being here with me while I do that. I hope that everybody listening or watching, I hope that you guys also feel the positivity coming towards you through your screen. Let's manifest that together. So, this positivity candle that is burning is not only going to be burning for me, burning for Sunny here, and it's going to be burning for you guys too. Okay. So, just by being here, just know that you guys are also part of the intention. So, we're all going to just focus on more positive energy. Okay. I love that. Moving right along. I'm telling you guys, I had quite the LA adventure. I really did. It was so much fun. It was really what I needed, truly. Oh my gosh. Okay. I forgot to tell you guys this. So also while I was at the aura photography place, the woman who did the reading said that Michael and I both had like old soul energy and that we were both like healers and that we're communicators. And so she said that sometimes people who are in like a lower vibration will be attracted to us and that we need some sort of like protection if we start to feel like, bogged down by life or whatever. And so she recommended selenite for our home. And I got it at House of Intuition, so I'm also gonna open that here. I have not opened it since I bought it, but I wanna show you guys. Little ASMR for everyone just listening audio only version. But how cool is this? It is a selenite tower. I love it. And basically, this is to like cleanse the energy, cleanse the aura. It's so pretty and shiny. I love it. Cleanse the aura, cleanse the energy, and it's supposed to help like basically repel negativity. It just bounces off. And this is just, it's beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. I'm obsessed. I do feel very light and breezy when I hold it. Okay, I'm feeling better already, honestly. So I also went to go see my friend Monique Kelly, and she is wonderful. She's been on the show before. She's also been on my TV show, and she is a love and dating expert and an author, and just a great friend, honestly. Like she's amazing. I have to talk her up a little bit because of all of her professional accolades. Check her out, Cocktails and Confessions on Instagram, and you can follow her and all the things that she does. She's been on Daily Pop, Nightly Pop, Married at First Sight on Lifetime. She hosts like their like roundtable talk type of things when they do like a debrief. And she's just amazing. She's super talented and a really great friend and someone who is genuinely encouraging. We've talked about it on here in the members only group, which if anybody wants to join on YouTube, all you have to do is just like scroll over, I think, kind of just like slide over and it's up at the top right by where it says subscribe. Basically, it'll say join. We spill some tea over there and I've talked about like enemies in your birth chart and things like that. And so I want to take a moment to also talk about friends in the birth chart because sometimes you just meet somebody who has such a positive impact on you and you can really see it in the astrology. I mean, astrology in the wild for sure. So I looked at our birth charts and I haven't even told her this yet, but I will. It's so interesting. Here's what I noticed. So I'm an Aquarius rising with a Virgo sun. She's a Pisces rising with a Leo sun. What's interesting about that is that my rising sign is the opposite polarity of her sun sign because Leo and Aquarius are on opposite sides of the zodiac wheel, meaning that they are like on the same continuum, but just the opposite polarity. But they basically have like the same energy expressed in a different way. All of the zodiac signs that are right across from each other can be described that way. So my rising and her sun have that opposite polarity on the same continuum. And then my sun in Virgo and her rising in Pisces are also that opposite continuum, like equal but opposite energy. And then our south node and north node axis is the same. Her north node is in Libra. My north node is in Aries. And so, again, balancing each other out. I think that is so interesting. I can't wait to talk to her about that. Maybe we can get her to come back on the podcast and do like a friendship reading and talk to her about some of the other stuff she has going on. I mean, I had such a good time with her. She is so encouraging. So find yourself a friend whose birth chart balances yours out. Maybe just manifest a soul friend who has those placements because honestly, that was so interesting. I knew that we must have some stuff going on in our birth charts just because of how much truly there is balance between us. And there you go. There you have it. I mean, astrology in the wild. She gives me great advice. I feel like I give her good advice. Yeah, it's just one of those things. There's a mutual support there and like genuine care, and each one has like what the other kind of looking for to complete the puzzle. Oh my god, I love it. So I also saw my cousin. My cousins in my family. I hadn't seen them in a while, and that made me feel so full, which was very positive, obviously. And then I went to a comedy show with my brother and husband, and I saw my friend Casey Spivey. She did a great job, went to the improv. She's so talented. Also, check her out if you like comedy because she's super talented and really, really funny. We stayed at the W Beverly Hills. It's very botanical and really beautiful. If you guys are going to LA, but you don't want to stay like in an area that I don't know if you're worried it's a little bit sketchy, but you still want to be like close enough to LA proper to like do different things. I really recommend the W Beverly Hills Hotel because it's right there, like by obviously like Beverly Hills. It's right by UCLA. It's by, it's not too far of a drive from like downtown. You're really there by everything. Wilshire Boulevard. You're kind of in the mix, but it's just a little bit off the beaten path enough to be like super safe. It's really chic, so beautiful, and it's not crazy. It's like it's, relatively affordable as far as, like, the hotels go that are nicer. So I really recommend it. It looked like a botanical garden, and you can eat, like, breakfast outside, and there's, like, this waterfall. I mean, it was just such a great trip. So that was, like, the core of what I wanted to share with you guys. I did wanna, like, share that trip with y'all. Couple more things to talk about numerology-wise. So we also went to see a Lakers game and my husband went all out. We were in a box he picked out. That was his excursion to do. And so it was like my husband, my brother, and I in a box at the Lakers game. It was really cool to get to see the Lakers play, and especially because LeBron James beat the standing record of most points ever earned in a career, and he hit 40,000 points at that game on the 2nd of March. And I was like, what is the numerology here? What is the astrology here? So I have that for you. LeBron James, like I said, he surpassed the NBA's scoring record. He crossed the threshold of like 40,000 points. And astrologically, he has his Mars in Pisces. So it did not surprise me to see that he beat the all time NBA record and, of course, his own personal record during Pisces season because the sun was shining on his Mars. Mars is the warrior. Mars is our energy, our life force energy, what motivates us, how we operate. So that really says a lot that this happened during Pisces season. It truly is like a reward for all of his work ethic, for all of the Mars energy that he's put out throughout his career. It's his just rewards. Also, I wanted to look at his numerology because this is such a big deal. I mean, no one else has done that. I mean, the most points in the NBA career all time high of like any other NBA player, like he has the most. Like, that is insane. So I was like, what is up with the numerology? Like, what is going on for him? I always like to look at that. He was born on December 30th, 1984. That's his birthday. Like I said, obviously you guys can tell I'm tired. I'm like, that's his birthday. It's like, yeah. Oh God. Okay. If you want to find your personal year, you basically just add up the day you were born with the month you were born, and you keep adding it until you get one digit. So, for example, you do December 1 plus 2 is 3, and then you add that to 3 because it's 30. You just drop the 0, it doesn't matter in numerology. So you do 3 plus 3, which is 6, and then you want to add 6 to the energy of the current year. So the current year is 2024. And when you add 6 plus 8, you get 14. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. That's how you keep reducing it. So he's in a 5 personal year. Now, something that I've been noticing a lot in numerology that like in the wild that I have not seen like written anywhere. Typically you hear that like 9 or 8, these are the years or the months when you're going to get like the culmination of all your hard work, like you're going to get your rewards, you're going to get like a windfall or a gift or like a karmic reward really for like everything you've done. Like everything starts to pay off. Especially 8 and then 9 would be like wish fulfillment. Not really things you've worked for, I guess, more just things that like you want to manifest or that like you that make you happy, like childhood dreams. I think that's more 9. 8 is like what you've worked hard for, like 4 and 4, like you've been building the structure of the house. Now you get like the abundance that comes from putting in the work. But 5, you don't they don't typically talk about like 5 being a reward year. But something I've noticed is that Taylor Swift, for example, was in a 5 year last year in 2023 when she had like the biggest year of her career, the Eras tour, um, Time Magazine Woman, like Person of the Year, like everything that anyone was winning, like she got it. And of course, this year she also won a Grammy, but everything, it's like she couldn't lose starting in 2023, and she's still on a hot streak because 6 is also an abundant year. 6 really just builds on the 5 energy, but I thought that was really interesting because he is essentially experiencing that same accomplishment energy. It's like 5 is about when you look most attractive. So being successful, makes you look attractive, makes you feel attractive. A 5 year is about building your self esteem. So, the universe will give us what we need to feel these energies and to experience these vibrations in the year that we're meant to. And so obviously we can see that like this was something that was important to him because it made him feel good. And 5 is also about making changes, a breakthrough. It's also when we get reinvigorated. So 5 is the midway point in like the cycle basically of 1 through 9, and then we start again at 1. So it's like doing doing this like refresh or this like renewal energy. We can see how getting accolades or a pat on the back would help to refresh and renew your energy. 5 really is a year when we get like a really good pick me up from the universe after the 4 year of really hard work. It's like we experience this freedom and joy again, this uplifting energy of 5. So, yeah, so he was experiencing that. That makes sense. And then I wanted to see his personal month because it's like, you know, of all the times when he could have accomplished this major reward of get like basically just breaking the freaking record, 40,000. Wow. Well, because 4 is about hard work, right? And then 0 is also amplify whatever energy they come behind in a number. So also talking about his hard work. The numbers and the vibrations, they speak to us. They really do. And everything is symbolic in numerology. So I wanted to see like what the personal month is, like I said. And to get that, you're basically just going to add the energy of the month, which is March. This happened on March 2nd. So the energy on the calendar, I'm sorry, the number on the calendar is 3 because March is the third month of the year. And you want to add that to his personal year number, which as we established is 5. And so we get 8. Meaning, I mean, how wild is this, guys? Meaning that this was, I'm still geeked out, an 8 personal month accomplishment and abundance. Like I was just saying, your just rewards, everything that you've worked hard for, that comes to you in an 8 cycle, in an 8 energy, whether it's an 8 month or an 8 year. That's when you start to get like, oh, you see the fruits of your labor. You're like, okay, this wasn't for nothing. So it happens in an 8 month and a 5 year. I mean, guys, isn't that wild? Like, if anything was going to happen, it was going to be then. And then his personal day, because yes, we are going to go there. His personal day, March 2nd, to get the energy of a personal day, you're going to add the day, like the date on the calendar, which is 2 plus the year. I'm sorry, plus the month. Let me say that again. To get the personal day energy, which is like really pinpointing the vibration to the day, can help you plan your weeks. You want to take the date on the calendar, which is 2, because it's March 2nd, and you want to add that to the energy of the year. So that's a 1. So this was a 1 personal day for him. Now, 1 is a day when the focus and the spotlight are on you. So, wow, it's about really highlighting like you as an individual, your perseverance, your hard work, your sense of accomplishment, your sense of self. 1 is about things that you do on your own for you. It's amazing. So he was in, to recap the energy of when he broke the record. He was in a 1 personal day of independence and accomplishment and spotlight during an 8 personal month during a 5 personal year. Wow. Okay, and let me re-say that actually. Oh my gosh, and I kept saying month. You guys, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I meant 8 month, not 8 year. So to get your personal day calculation, you're gonna add the date on the calendar. So March 2nd was the day that he, you know, beat the record. So you want to do 2 plus the personal month number. So it's 2 plus 8. So that gives you 10. And then 1 plus 0 is 1. So he was in a 1 day energy, which is all about the self, you in the spotlight, the individual, in an 8 month of accomplishment during a 5 year of renewal and like fun and feeling invigorated and getting like a pat on the back that makes you feel uplifted. What the heck? Numerology in the wild. That is wild. Okay, and then there was another sports thing, and okay, we're gonna go pretty soon. But then there was another sports thing that happened that was just insane, honestly. And I had to check it out because this was something that was just a long time coming. If you guys listen to the New Heights podcast or you're a fan of the Kelsey brothers or the Eagles, you know what I'm going to talk about here. So Jason Kelce finally made his retirement announcement this past week. And this was a big deal. This was something that he was kind of putting off ever since the end of the season. And we were just like, will he retire? Won't he retire? I was hoping that he wouldn't retire because I know he's in a 6th personal year, but 6 is all about like abundance and, the home and family, which can signal that you might be spending more time at home, which you will be. But 6 is also associated with health. So I think that he chose to retire because of his health. He did talk about that in his documentary as well. You can't be that hard on your body for that long without experiencing some repercussions and some things breaking down. So I think that the 6 was very symbolic of it being his time to walk away while he was still on top. 6 is a number of success because it's ruled by Venus. And he walked away as like, the best in the league at his position. And that's amazing. He walked away while he was ahead. But the actual energy of why he chose this day is very interesting. So let's get into that. So he retired on March 4th, or announced his official retirement March 4th. And the way that we get to this day, let's go ahead and do all the calculations. So his birthday is November 5th, 1987. We want to get his personal year first and foremost. So we're going to do 11 plus 5 because November plus the 5th equals 7. And then you're going to add that 7 to the current year energy. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 for 2024. That's an 8 energy. So you're 7 plus 8. Once you keep adding everything up and reducing it to a single digit, you're going to get a 6 energy year. And 6 is about, like I said, family, abundance. It's really a year when you're surrounded by love and Venus energy. You're going to be looking good. You're going to be feeling good. It's a year to focus on your health and your well being. It's really a nourishing year. So, he might be getting more of his rest this year, which is going to be great. Personal month of March for him. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, for this, we're going to add 3 because March, the month of March on the calendar is the third month, plus 6, which is his current personal year, and you get 9. Wow, guys. So 9 is about the ending of a cycle, the culmination of something. And I mean, do you have goosebumps? I have goosebumps. I really do. This is so interesting. So when we're talking about energy and numerology, it goes from 1 to 9, and then the energy starts back at 1 again. And so 9 is the ending of a cycle. It's also a wish fulfillment, and it's really like being at the top of the mountain, and you tie up all the loose ends so that you can start climbing a new mountain. And I think for him, he's going to have a lot of new mountains to climb. I think that his podcast is going to be continue to be extremely successful. I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN or some other big network came to him with a great contract offer and he started a new chapter doing that and using his personality. I really don't worry about him. I think that he has a lot of talents that he can draw from to keep, experiencing his life and what he's meant to do here. But 9 does signify that, like, the end of this chapter, the closing of one chapter so that you can open a new door. And when we look at the personal day, which is going to tell us even more about why he is retiring, because the energy of the day is baked into the vibration of the situation basically. So you can get clues about like why something happened a certain way, or like what the decision was, what the reason for the decision was, things like that. You really can get more information by looking at the numerology. And so March 4th for him, this was a 4 day. And the way that we got there basically was adding 4, the date, plus 9, the month energy. And you get 13. Hello, Taylor Swift vibes. Are they all in the same soul group? I think so. 1 plus 3 is 4. This was also his 13th season. He retired after 13 seasons. So, another thing, I think that we have soul groups. I think that there are little clues. It's interesting to me that he retired after 13 seasons on a 4 day, which we got to the 4 by reducing it from 13. So, I think that this is showing that, 4 is when we really do get down to business. It's when we face the things that maybe we've been avoiding. We do the tasks that really suck, honestly. Like on a 4 day, this is when you're going to be like doing your chores. You're going to be getting up early. You're going to be taking care of everything on your list. It's not a day of being social and having fun, which would be a 3. It's not a day of a pat on the back and getting reinvigorated and excited or indulging your 5 senses like a 5 energy. 4 is the foundation. It is the strong house. So what this also tells us is that yes, he's ending a cycle, but he's also ending this cycle so that he can rebuild a new strong structure, a strong house, a strong life for himself, which is 4. This symbolizes that if he hadn't retired, he may he may have experienced some sort of setback because the 4 stable energy of the house, it is symbolic that like this is a positive, stable move for him. It was time. So I do think that it had to do with his maybe deteriorating health as far as like his joints and bones and things like that, which he talked about in the documentary. Um, because this was a 6 year of retirement. So for him, he retired in a 6 year during a 9 month of completion on a 4 day of getting down to business. And he had avoided this for a really long time. And if you haven't seen his speech yet, Google it, watch it on YouTube. It's really, really beautiful. You will probably cry. I did. And you can tell he was avoiding it for sure. He didn't want to do it. So this was discipline and perseverance. And that is for energy. So he did face it. He did what he needed to do. He closed out the chapter and, wishing him a lot of love and happiness on his next leg of the journey. It's going to be another good one, I'm sure. So I am going to be doing a member video that will be out at the time of you're watching this. And the member video is going to be talking about how to plan your life based on personal days. I'm going to talk about the vibration of each day, what types of tasks you want to be doing on each day, which things you want to avoid. So that's going to be over in the members only channel. So, like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed to that yet, you can go to join. It should be right near where it says subscribe. And yeah, join us over there. It's about like $3 and you get extra videos every week. And also things like this. I'm going to be going more in depth, doing like, extended podcast episodes, things like that. So check out the extended podcast episode over there so that you guys can start manifesting and taking actions on the right days. Quick fact about that. So the day that we got back from our trip, the day we got back from LA, I was exhausted. The day that we were traveling was a 6 energy day, and I was, like, very social that day, talking to, like, my family and talking to saying goodbye, and then the day after we got home, the next day was, like, our first full day back at the house, back in town. I was exhausted, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like, what's wrong with me?" Like, I just had a great trip, like, I have so much to do to get back in the swing of things. I was exhausted. I didn't wanna do anything. It was so weird. And so I looked up my personal day, like, what was the numerology of the day? And I was having a 7 personal day during a 2 personal month. And wow, did that make sense? It made me feel a lot better too because I was like, "Okay, this is just an energy for today. This is not something that I'm gonna be like, you know, needing to like worry about or whatever. I just need a little more solitude, a little more rest." So I ended up doing some deep dive research for some future podcast episodes and I didn't push myself. And that is the kind of stuff that you can learn and the type of decisions that you can make when you understand the numerology of each day and like what your energy is going to be tuned into so that you cannot fight it. You know what I mean? And then the next day, I was able to like do 8 energy things and take care of some business stuff. So, as you can see, it is extremely helpful. And when we're conscious of it, we kind of do it subconsciously, but when we're conscious of it, we can really make super like pinpoint decisions and not allow like other stuff to creep in on the wrong days. Because like you're not going to want to sign a contract on like a 3 day, right? You're going to want to sign it on like an 8 day. So I'll give you guys the tea on that over on the members only channel. And in the meantime, you guys, I just want to send you a nice big hug, some positivity. Thank you for being here with me. This has been so much fun. I can't wait to see you guys next week for another all new podcast episode. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave me a review. It would mean so much to me. And I think you would get a lot of positive karma, okay, from the positivity karma candle. Just any incentive will do. All right, you guys, I love you so much. I will talk to you soon. Join me for a live stream as well over on YouTube. Okay.
Yay Networks.